Welcome back to another edition of the Dirty Verdict podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Peter Taff.
My name's Kyle Hubert. I'm doing my Schwarzenegger impression the entire time.
My name is Bill Ogden, and I'm the actor of the group.
His name's Bill. Currently governor of California.
Everyone is very happy about the Arnold Schwarzenegger Hawk to
Bill.
Who told you could eat my cookies?
We have another great guest.
Great guest.
Mike Takla. Mike, thanks for joining us.
Of course, I love it. It's awesome.
He has the most beautiful British middle name of all time.
Reginald?
No.
I was going to say Adele.
Oh, yeah, it's not British.
She's pretty British.
Hello?
You know what Adele means in Arabic?
No.
Oh, God, is it a bad word?
It means justice, actually.
Even better. Suck it, Adele.
So
My
Mike
name is Justice.
Takla
Yeah.
is here with us tonight. So Mike,
You've got to get on a court of appeals.
Yeah.
Justice Takla.
Justice Takla, I was going to say.
so
Justice for short.
So Mike and I first met when I came onto his podcast, which is called Bad Law.
Wow, Pete, I was advertising other people's podcasts.
Hold on here.
Today.
On that point, crazy thing. I've been on that podcast too. Kyle, boy, you were on that, right? I think no. Oh,
You guys are all sons of bitches.
Kyle was invited, but he had to get a haircut.
yeah, he's getting his haircut.
A prior engagement. Thanks, Mike. Nice to meet you. I'm looking forward to being on your podcast, which by that I mean I'm never going to be on your crappy podcast.
He's going to be on it.
So
Kyle, you gave I got a bandana of yours at one point.
You did?
Yeah. But then I found out you were like a UT fanatic.
And then it grew.
And I threw it away. And I felt really bad about it, but I don't anymore.
That's okay.
Balls up. Hey, balls up.
Hey, man.
yeah.
Do you steal my bandanas? I steal your coach. We slept
Hey,
together.
you guys are free.
So I will highly, and I say this when I mediate with Mike and his clients, his podcast is like a legit legal podcast. Like if you're a lawyer and you want to really know how to learn some things, listen to his podcast because he's got some really good lawyers and they talk substantive.
It sounds boring.
I agree, Pete. He's got phenomenal lawyers.
Yeah.
That sounds and they give amazing insight.
If you want to meet the Bill Ogden, the serious Bill Ogden lawyer,
Well, don't listen to his. I was not serious. I was very honest.
I thought you were pretty serious on that one.
I mean, I was serious in the fact that I stayed in that realm, but I still was very inappropriate. Probably.
Yeah.
No, you were good. You were good. I think we talked about the Alex Jones trial, and then I was really interested in how you create that villainy of him, with the...
Yeah.
So who's the most famous person you've had on your podcast?
Fine, Jesus, he's gonna put him on the spot. He's gonna have to say Bill Ogden.
Probably John Morgan.
We had Renee Zellweger.
Time out. How many times has John Morgan been in an HBO documentary, featured in the New York Times, cited in a book? I mean, I can keep going.
I thought we were saying aside from Bill, who's the most.
Okay, I didn't hear that part.
What's it called when you get like an Oscar, a Grammy, a Peabody? What's that called?
Rita Moreno.
It's called the Takla.
The tackle.
You do the tackling.
Damn it, you guys are good at this.
You want to know what John?
I want to have you on your podcast.
You want to know what John Morgan doesn't have? A trophy in his office that says National Trial Lawyer of the Year.
For one more week.
Come on, John.
Come get it.
Although probably he's had one of the lawyers there, Keith Mitnick. He probably.
Oh, never. Oh, I didn't know you had Keith on. Yeah. He's probably got he's got like 4 or 5 pages on Google. Yeah. So yeah.
I was goofing around on the internet yesterday, and there's some marketing company out there that has a page called "Why the Morgan & Morgan Marketing is the Worst Marketing in the World."
It seems to be working. They're the official law firm for UFC. I don't know if you've noticed.
No, because I don't follow.
And they're the official law firm of, I believe, the Real World Road Rules Challenge.
So
I'm pretty sure I saw that too.
I would recommend listening to Mr. Morgan's interview with Mike because he was it was not like some media savvy person. He was very real when Mike was talking to him. Like
He was very straightforward.
How'd you get in touch with J-Mo?
Did he talk about smoking weed?
I think I emailed him or...
Oh, it was just a cold call type thing?
I think so, maybe.
Nice. That's a good, that's a big draw.
It's one of those. It was either Keith or him. One of them I texted and the other one I emailed. I want to say it was John Morgan that I emailed.
I bet I can guess how the interview didn't go. I bet it didn't end with "stay out of fucking Texas."
No,
because he's coming hard.
He's coming real hard. Yeah.
He said that in the interview. He wants to grow that thing to what, like 2,000 lawyers or something. I mean, something.
I'm shit. He's probably over halfway there now.
Yeah, he's over
too many lawyers.
Yeah.
He's contacted a few firms here in Houston to try
him up.
He's trying. I can't name any names,
So
but I might be employed by one.
So, but like Mike's, I learned a lot just listening to it.
Appreciate that.
There's a great one that just posted about a guy. Is he from Tyler or he's?
Yeah, let's talk about Shane McGuire.
Yeah.
So I thought that one was probably the shittiest audio, but the best content one I've done, and that's because
I'm not going to take offense.
yeah. Well, okay, second.
Yeah. Everything we talk about is second.
Let's just start there. I like that. I like that rule. I like that rule a lot.
So, because it was like, everybody knows about Stowers cases, all that stuff. And the way he did it to basically not get an assignment, get a $2.5 million settlement from not a great insurance company on a $500K verdict, I thought was like super.
And what was the policy?
30?
Yeah, it was at
60.
Okay, just Bill, Kyle, $30,000 policy, Stowers blown. $500,000 verdict at trial because the defense lawyer didn't show up.
Oh, 3060 drunk driver.
Yeah.
15 in meds on one. I think it was like 10 on the other.
Cairo.
Yeah, all Cairo only. They go try the case. Defense doesn't show up. He goes, the original attorney says, hey, we'll just do it to a bench trial, get a $500K judgment, and then says, hey, defendant, you should probably call your insurance company and or get an attorney. Here's an attorney I recommend. It was Shane McGuire. Shane McGuire and the other attorney just went all the way. It was pretty.
And it ended up, I haven't finished it yet. The settlement at the end was 2.5?
2.5, and the owner of Sea Harbor, because it's like a one-man situation at
Right.
the top, had to write the check personally.
What's Sea Harbor?
Sea Harbor is like those MGAs, like Red Point, all them? That's
Yes.
So he was the one that had to approve every $30,000 settlement.
right. He has to sign off. So if you say, I'll take $29,500, he doesn't have to sign off on it. But if you have to pay $30,000, he has to sign off on it.
And when you have to pay $2.5 million, he has to sign off on it.
So how did the verdict go from $500,000 to 2.5? Maybe I lost something here.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So he did it as a DTPA action. You don't get DTPA if you get an assignment, right? So if you take your Stowers and you say, hey, defendant, assign me your rights against the insurance company, you don't get DTPA. So what he did is said, hey, defendant, go call this attorney, and the attorney will represent you in this, and created a damage model of he said he asked for $4 million.
Tell me,
Bad faith.
who is the insurance defense firm that decided not to show up to trial?
He wouldn't tell me. I mean, I'm sure I could look it up, but he wouldn't tell me. And he said it passed around a little bit, so they had it in-house for a little bit, then they took it to outside counsel, and by then it was...
Dude just didn't show up to trial.
Yeah, didn't show up.
Yep.
That was like, not in Harris County. It was some other county, and knowing how that's situated, they probably just forgot. But
I'd love to see those DTPA pleadings.
Oh, well, his name's Shane McGuire.
I would appreciate
And sounded like a really nice guy on the...
Oh, he's awesome.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
What's his name again?
Shane McGuire.
Maybe you guys really do have good guests on your podcast.
Yeah.
God, life's hard. It's a lot harder if you're dumb.
Well, you guys just got a verdict pretty recently, yeah?
Yes.
Couple of them.
We got one that topped policies like 97 or something like that. I just remember it because he wrote it down as like yellow piece of paper, and I was like, damn, okay.
We had a $5,000 offer on a State Farm case where we got like a $615,000 verdict in Waller County, Hempstead.
That was a drunk driving case, yeah?
Well,
Possible. It should have been.
Potentially drunk driving case.
Yeah.
correct. And that case, I think after tax title licenses, I think the value of it's over like $7 now. And then we had another one in Montgomery County where the pre-suit offer was like 17, and we got a 6-figure verdict. So, but I didn't plead DTPA or something awesome. These are just regular old verdicts.
Well, I mean, so like in that situation, yeah, I think you now have an option. At least this guy's showing that you may have an option to go and say, hey, instead of me just getting an assignment from the defendant and going that way, let me. Obviously, if they appeal, you're in appeals. It is what it is. But they missed the appeals deadline too.
Man, that's a great lawyer.
And after they missed the appeals deadline, they did then asked for a new trial. They're like, "Hey, can we get a new trial?" And Judge's like, "No."
Hey, lol. Did the judge just sign it? Lol. LLs.
Yeah, new number. Who dis?
New number. Who dis?
All right.
So, yeah. So yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, I was gonna say, how many? You probably would have about 40 episodes.
Somewhere around there. Yeah.
We have
70.
77. We have 79.
Will Adams was 77.
No,
So we got
3 since then.
yeah.
Forget twice as big. Sucking Takla.
that's what I'm talking about. We brought you on here just to burn you. This is a roast.
Mike does it all by himself, and like I said, it's always very interesting and informative. Whereas if you want to be kind of cringe a little bit, watch us. If you want to learn something,
Yeah. If you want to offend your mom,
Yeah.
watch us. If you want to learn something about the law, watch Mike.
Yeah.
No, y'all say that, but in the ones I've listened to, the episodes I've listened to, there's like little tidbits here. I'm like,
Don't try to be fucking nice. No.
Sure enough.
We are enemies, all right?
A fight between the dirty verdict and whatever your podcast.
Kyle is our Achilles, and he is our champion, all right, Hector? You have to die for your shitty brother Paris.
Are we going to talk about like his background and stuff,
Yeah.
or are we just doing?
so Mike, well, I want to talk about podcasts because, like I said, I really enjoy his, and I wanted. And
Don't fiddle all around. His middle name is Justice.
Yeah.
Yvette, I just want you to know that Peter likes Mike's podcast more than ours, and you should be offended because I am. I'm just trying to get into her top
They're
two.
just different.
Yvette's my
different
mother.
strokes for different folks. But of course, my interview's on there if anyone wants to learn a little bit. About
Oh, I watched it, Pete, and I took notes.
Okay, good.
Right? And I've got them in here.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, so Mike, where are you from originally?
so originally born in Egypt, but lived here.
Okay, so you're born in Egypt, grew up.
Here in Houston, went to Westside High School.
West Side?
Westside.
Where's West Side High School?
Highway 6 and then Briar Forest.
No, this is on the West Side.
It's over there near Beaumont.
And then went to Texas A&M University.
So,
Ooh, tough time to be an Aggie.
okay. I was originally trying to go to West Point. So A&M was like, I'm just going to, if this doesn't pan out, I'm going to go here. I got the congressman.
If A&M doesn't work out, I'm going to go to West. Oh, okay. I was about to say, West Point was your fallback.
A lot of people think that way.
Yeah. So I got the congressman recommendation. Everything's good.
Who is your congressman?
I would say Culberson.
Okay.
Yeah.
probably.
And so do all that. And then one of the reasons why I wanted to go is I played rugby in high school. And so
They had rugby at your high school?
we were the only public school. Stratford got it I think a year.
State champions every year.
Yeah, I was going to say, y'all are undefeated for 9 state
Public
titles.
schools have a
Oh, y'all played all the privates?
national championships every year. So anyway, so I wanted to go play rugby there, and obviously it's a good school. So I call the rugby coach up there. I get it set up, and he's like, "Well, you should put on your thing that you're African American." I was like, "I don't think that counts. I don't think that's how this works." He's like, "Just put it on there, and we'll work on this." I was like, "Okay." Didn't do it, and it worked out anyway. But at the end of the day, I also kickboxed, got a hole in the back of my eye, and they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna spend $300,000 on you. You should not have any holes,
A hole in the back of your eye?
Yeah, but it's kind of like
How hard did they kick you?
You should see the other guy.
yeah, actually. The other guy cannot walk, but that's a different story for another day.
Did you get to go up? Did you tour West Point? Did you go to the cadet chapel and all that stuff?
No, no.
I spent I was a history major,
Kyle's just trying to shatter your heart right now.
and I'm super dorky. And I went up there for a 4-day weekend with nothing to do. I was there for somebody's wedding, and I had no responsibilities. And I went to the visitor center. I was like, I want to get a ticket for the tour. And they were like, do you want to go to the museum or the cemetery or the campus tour or the other museum? I was like,
So we've heard of this.
They were like, "Are you sure?"
literally, I paid $100. I did 2 tours.
$100?
Yeah.
Colin, we now know of 2 vacations you've been on. One was in L.A.,
Yes.
and you went to a cemetery.
Yeah.
And the other one was paying $100 to go see a publicly funded institution. I just for anybody out there that's looking at Kyle, that's how he likes to vacation.
We can't all go to Vegas with our InfoWars money, Bill.
Kyle hits the lottery and he's like, "Whoo, here comes the Smithsonian."
It's exciting.
I'm going to do 2 weeks.
So you end up going to A&M.
Yeah,
And that was
2014.
We're in the Corps?
is when I graduated, so 2010. No, I wasn't. After all, what's one thing? I was like, man, forget this.
Yeah, right, dude. Nope. Yeah, and I don't support the troops either. I do actually.
Manziel year.
I was there during the Manziel years. That was crazy. And
Were you in Tuscaloosa?
no. And you know what's dumb is I legit thought out of all the games, we're not going to win this one.
There's no way you were beating Alabama in Tuscaloosa.
There's no point in me going all the way there. And all I remember is winning and just immediately sprinting. It was like 2 miles sprinting to Northgate.
Yeah. So I want to clarify something because you were there during the Manziel years. It wasn't Johnny Manziel.
What?
It wasn't.
Who was it?
It was Evans that was.
It was Mike Evans. Those were the Mike Evans years. Johnny threw it up in the air, and Mike Evans, pride of Galveston Ball High School, went up and got it. That is what made A&M
He
great.
had to run around the pocket a lot to be able to.
Yeah, he was good at scurrying, but Mike Evans is the reason for that success. So fight me.
I would have to see the statistics for that because I have a feeling that the most hit receiver was probably Swope at the time.
It was.
part of Westlake High School.
Westlake, yeah.
But on that topic, Peter, did you go see Texas beat Bama in Tuscaloosa this year?
I did.
I was there as well. That was fun.
Yeah,
good time.
Yeah.
It was good to see it.
I'll be there next year. Hey, are we still wearing number 16 jerseys? 'Cause I'm going to order one.
Yeah. Nice. Yes. Get one. So,
Get you one, Takla.
I'll do that.
yeah.
Wait, is it Takla or Takla?
It's Takla.
Takla. All right.
Takla.
Pete's been butchering your name.
We do those all. Yeah. We do them all.
I was.
Okay. So, after A&M, straight in studying.
A&M.
Political science course.
Yeah.
What was it?
Political science.
Just straight out of A&M, did you go to U of H?
Straight to U of H. I knew I was going to go to U of H.
What'd you LSAT? What was your score on the LSAT?
I don't.
He's probably 160, 162 probably, maybe 163.
I really don't remember.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. It was that high.
No, it was also crazy. The day that I was taking my LSAT, I found out my mom had cancer.
Jeez.
When I didn't even know I was going to go to law school. I was like, it's a whole story of why I became a PI attorney. But, you know, originally, a lot of shit happened. And that was like, am I really going to still go to law school? And then, you know, sadly, she passed a few years ago. But
I'm sorry to hear that.
she fought for 7 years. God damn.
So she got to see you graduate from law school?
She did.
Nice.
Okay, but Mike,
Yeah.
you alluded to this. So
Yeah.
one of the reasons why you wanted to be a lawyer, and particularly in this line of work, I know you had an issue with your father that was a real
Yeah. So I'm I want to say a junior in high school, and my dad has this heart attack, and it's pretty severe. And obviously, my parents are not born here. They speak English, all that stuff, but you don't know everything, right? So he's having a heart attack. And my mom is like, hey, yo, something's wrong with your dad. I was like, oh, shit. So I go down there. I was like, oh, yeah, it's definitely a heart attack. I was like, I'm going to call 911. We'll get the ambulance. He's like, no. Put me in the car. We're going to go to my Egyptian doctor. He's in, I want to say Cyprus. So it's about like a 25-minute drive. And I was like, it's my dad. He tells you to do that, you fucking do it, right? So I do that. We go in. They're like, he needs a triple bypass, like immediately. Okay. So everything goes well. He comes home, and he actually ended up having to go with my uncles to California for a few months. And I get a bill in the mail from the hospital, and it's like over $1 million. And the insurance company's like, you're going to have to figure out a way to pay this. We only cover emergency situations. This is not an emergency. You didn't go by ambulance. I was like, in what fucking world is a triple bypass done within 24 hours, not an emergency fucking situation? So I had to deal with that. Also had to figure out the whole situation with like...
What was the insurance company?
I want to say it was like Aetna. I really don't remember.
Are you the oldest?
No, I'm not. My brother is the oldest.
Like he put it all on you?
Well, I mean, it was kind of between us, but...
What's his name?
Camel.
Wow, Camel.
Yeah.
Kamel.
So no, he, my dad also has a screen printing business, and he was kind of focused with that. And I'm the one who's checking the mail at home, and I'm like, oh shit. So I'm dealing with that, dealing with my mom's situation in terms of what the hell are we going to do for the next few months for money, and it all worked out. But at one point, I was looking up attorneys, and so I ended up wanting to do PI because of that. I ended up resolving. They ended up paying everything. Everything worked out.
Did you have to get an attorney?
No.
Because Mike handled it.
Yeah, Justice handled it.
Justice stepped in
As a junior
little brother
in high school.
Yeah, which fucking blew. If Mr. French is listening to us, he gave me a 79 in calculus, and that fucking hurt my GPA.
Calculus is hard though.
Yeah, but I should have got a little bit of grace on that. But
Yeah, it's millennials.
so, anyways,
Who invented calculus?
Who knows?
Pythagorean. Everybody knows that.
Okay.
So yeah, that motivated you to where like this is.
yeah. So I googled
I want to help people.
what kind of attorney does this, and honestly, the most that came up were personal injury attorneys. Now, an attorney doesn't. A health insurance attorney does not do the same thing we do.
No.
But I looked up that and I was like, okay, well, I kind of want to do this. I want to do something in a sphere. Fast forward to U of H, and I clerked for Judge Sandel. Great.
Really?
Yeah, great judge.
Did he hold his bench? No, he didn't.
No, he did
Damn
not.
it. I just realized that.
Yeah.
God, I think Carter was the only one that did.
It was a few, but yeah.
I meant male.
Yes.
But yeah, Judge Sandel, great judge. So how did he affect your career?
See, he actually made me now want to do litigation. Because the first day I go there, and there's this TRO that's going to end up obviously being a TI hearing, temporary injunction. So anyway, it is over a business dispute, and the bailiff comes in, and he's like, hey, we're going to need more bailiffs. Judge Sandler's like, why? He's like, they're having a fist fight between the two attorneys outside.
Yes.
I'm not going to say it.
Oh, say it.
I know for sure one of them's still practicing, I'll tell you that. But
What's his name start with? I'm going to go here, and you just tell me when to stop.
Toby Cole.
I'm not doing it. So what ends up happening is I'm like, shit, like, do I need to learn how to box to be a lawyer? Like, I don't.
It doesn't hurt.
I learned early.
Your Instagram handle is lifting lawyer, I believe.
Yeah, it's true.
You should learn how to box.
Wait, are you the guy that's out there exercising with Teddy all the time?
Yeah.
We got to get. How do you?
Yes, we do.
We got to get.
No, first of all, if I had that body, I would even be in way less than Teddy's in. He's always got a shirt on.
He comes up here,
But he'll do like the sexy pull-out. And I like
over Instagram.
He is
the second it's off, he's like,
I would do. You got to count his abs with more than two hands.
expensive.
My logarithm must. I haven't seen him post. Has he posted it?
no, he's
No, it's Kyle's got the back room info on him.
Got it. Okay.
Kyle gets the inside scoop on
Comes
Teddy's
up here with
abs.
short shorts, and I'm like, Teddy, the staff.
He's got gray hair too.
What religion you are? You got to get out of here.
Yeah.
Okay, so
We gotta have Teddy.
lawyers are fighting that you won't disclose online at least,
yeah.
and then so what are you thinking?
I'm just like, what? Part of me is like, there's no way in fucking hell I'm going to be able to do this.
Was it two female lawyers?
No, it's two male lawyers.
Jesus.
Hilarious part is one is like he's probably like 40, 30 to 40. The other one is old.
This is 2000. It's not Brock. No, Brock doesn't throw down.
2014 or 2015.
14. Maybe Johnny Causey.
But then no, because it was a
business dispute.
it was a
Business dispute.
I'm telling you, the commercial stuff, those things are much more intense than PI.
I've got my first commercial mediation coming up.
Yeah,
It's gonna be fun.
Okay, so you see them fighting. Do you let the fight play out, or you try to go intervene and help break it up?
Yes.
Intervene. I'm a pacifist.
So the rest of the they call them mini trials. No, I don't know. I mean, they're fighting, they're pushing each other stuff. So anyway, so the rest of the mini trial is 3 or 4 bailiffs hanging out with like a 38-year-old who, honest to God, like I would not be worried about this guy fighting anyone. And then someone who is probably, I want to say, yeah, like late 60s, 70s situation. And I'm just like, all right. Then, it goes on. At one point, Judge Sandel's like, look, like, if you guys keep playing with, he hits them with, if you're going to object, you need to give me the actual rule of evidence, and then you need to read it. So I thought that meant no more objections. They both pull up the rules of evidence, and they're objecting and reading it, and I was like, Jesus, fuck.
Yeah.
And then they say, look, we're going to hold you guys in contempt if you keep doing this type of stuff. The next day, they both come back to court, both of them, with a toothbrush. And they're like, we're ready.
What's done in jail?
What the fuck?
Wait, time out. First of all, if these are two commercial litigants, why are we not doxing one of the names?
We're not doing it.
We're gonna find out who it is.
Just whisper it. Just whisper it to me.
Not gonna happen. So you can blur it out. Come on.
I'm not going to blurt it out. I'm going to scream it.
Okay, so you saw the absolute worst, and one thing on it,
That's not the worst. Go to a family court law.
Yeah.
That's a Wild West.
But if you've listened to our show, you know, right now we're kind of in a summer of mental health positivity, but we've had a summer of professionalism, and I feel like we had a lot of like Tommy and talking about getting along with lawyers and doing well.
Yeah.
No, we have, but I just didn't listen to any of it.
I suppose you'd get headbutted in court once.
But yeah, Mike, you saw the absolute worst. So rightfully so, you're like, I don't know if this is a very healthy profession for me.
Yeah, so I saw that, but then next door, I think it was Judge Landrum, who's no longer on the bench.
Michael Landrum?
Yeah, that's right. He had a case, a dram shop case, and it went to verdict for, I want to say, it was a bench trial, and it ended up in some sort of seven-figure.
Damn, bench trial on 7 figures in dram.
Yeah, well,
And Landrum's a Republican, too.
He's running again. He's up
he
for
runs
that.
every few years.
He's up on that.
I think he runs every two.
Yeah, I think
to some bench.
He's running against Nicole Purdue, friend of the show.
Oh yeah. Sorry, Judge Landrum. Respectfully, Nicole's awesome.
Yeah.
I've been in front of Judge Landrum. Great guy.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
Well, actually, he ruled against me on a case. Actually, no. If we're going to talk about Judge Landrum, there is one, and I have an appellate decision that's even more horse shit, but than the ruling that he did in the trial.
Okay, so you saw him, and you saw that trial, and you felt a little bit better.
Yeah, I felt a little better. So I was broke. Okay, so obviously I'm working for Judge Landrum. I'm also working a second job. The second part of the summer, I worked for some employment firm. It was Kennedy Hodges. They split off.
Oh, yeah. Galvin and David?
That's right.
I know them both well.
So then after that,
Did you work for Galvin or did you work for David? Because
Doesn't matter. The firm fell apart. Doesn't matter.
yeah, it was. To be honest with you, I was a clerk that they had some sort of FLSA thing. I don't know how much I can talk about it, but let's just say it's in the Las Vegas area.
There's a lot of strip club. They found the wage and hour strip club class action.
I'm like, oh, this person's name is like fucking
Chastity Bubbles.
yeah.
I was going to say Sapphire.
Bubbles.
Make.
Yeah. So
Also, Kennedy Hodges has got to be like a pretty high per capita employer of Egyptians.
What?
there's another one.
Oh, Gabe Asai.
yeah.
Yeah, very good friend of mine.
He's a good dude.
He's with Don Worley now.
So
So okay, let's get back to
yeah.
you're doing two jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Yeah.
Trying to keep
We
this.
gotta get it.
I'm trying to keep this train on the track.
Can we just get a moment? Just one more time. Just let's get this back on track. Could you say that?
Yeah, he did just say that. He literally just said that.
There are people with bingo cards at home who were just waiting.
Let's get this back on track.
Get this back on track.
Worked for another attorney during the year. Who did? I don't even remember his name, to be honest with you. It's been so long.
Doesn't sound like a good attorney.
And he was a subrogation attorney for insurance companies. Yeah. Yeah, that was not fun.
South Texas.
So we can get it set.
We're there. We're just waiting to bag on you.
Yeah, I know.
Excuse me, the South Texas College of Law, Houston.
Did you guys try to change and then Busby sued you?
We didn't try. We did change. And then we kept that Houston at the end of our name.
You had the colors too, right?
Yeah, but then we were like,
Weird.
we don't like this red. This is weird. We should have
I think a TRO will make you go,
I didn't. It did not.
South Texas should have rebranded to be like the University of Houston, Texas, Harvard, Yale Law School of
Harvard of the South.
Oxford.
Of Oxford, yeah. I was going to say it's something international. So for the listeners that don't know, I don't know, maybe 6 years ago?
No, more than that.
You think?
Yeah.
It was 2016.
No, it was like,
yeah,
it was like 8 years ago. South Texas College of Law tried to rebrand our colors and pick the same colors as University of Houston. And University of Houston was like, "Ew, we're all millennial wokeness. We're going to sue you." And they did. And then South Texas College of Law won. And so now we're South Texas College of Law, Houston.
No, you did not win.
Did not win.
University of Houston won.
Well, yeah.
Really? Because, Kyle, what's the H word at the end of our school's name? Houston. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
How
We'll post the opinion by a lead.
Post it all you want. It's not going to change my mind.
And I also think the people who defended you guys in that lawsuit graduate from South Texas.
Nope, neither of them did. Both of them were they were Baylor, actually.
But the person who brought the lawsuit, I believe he graduated second from U of H.
You know what?
Tony Busby.
Yeah.
Bugsby.
I was the client at the time. I was on the Board of Regents.
The only question I have is who graduated first? I'm just kidding, Tony. A lot of respect for
He
you.
did. It's Justin Wagner. He's
Oh shit, really?
yeah, Advisor Capital. I think they've merged over to Septo. I think they're called now.
Yeah,
Really?
I think you're right.
I know who Justin Wagner is, and great guy and very good lawyer.
Yeah, Tony. I think he's doesn't ever want to be second to anything, but I think he tips his hat to Justin as being.
Yeah, I would. That's a good one to tip your hat to.
Yeah.
Tony's not second very many things.
Back on track.
So
Get this back on track.
if you have to be second, if you're Tony and you have to be second on something, that's a good one.
Yeah. Okay, so
Yeah, so
God,
work for this guy.
we've diverged so far, but let's get back to your life.
Work for this weird guy. Then Arnold Aiken has a posting, and at the time, you're at U of H. Everybody's talking about big law, all this stuff. So you're like, Arnold Aiken, that sounds like a pretty good firm. You're like, I Google it. Oh, it seems pretty great. You know, I have an interview. They're like, have you ever filed a response to MSJ? I was like, I have. They're like, okay, well, you start tomorrow. I was like, cool. So I worked there for a while, and that's where I got to see what PI was really like, especially because they do have a huge Jones Act docket, and seeing all that, I was like, hell yeah, let's fucking do this. Let's roll with this. So I clerked there for a little bit, took the bar, and then actually worked for Mo Aziz at Abram Watkins afterwards. That was great too. I mean, he did really good. He got I think it was like a $5.4 million verdict while I was there. It was a really interesting case, a products liability case. And bounced around, worked for Jeff McCarthy for, I think, 4 years, something like that. And then at one point I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to start my own law firm. Because at some point in time as an associate, you got to make a choice. If you're not going to want to make partner there, or if you're bringing in a lot of business
Where?
at anywhere.
Well,
Sorry, Bill. You can
why just
put your head down.
I didn't know if we were still talking about Arnold Aiken or Abraham Watkins because one of them doesn't.
When you
have
were there,
partners.
when you were there with working with Mo, kind of he went on a tear for a while. Were you there where he was just on?
So I was there probably right after the explosion cases wrapped up.
Yeah.
And then he had the Las Vegas shooting cases. That was huge.
Mm-hmm.
He had the Larry Nassar cases. I was
The sexual assault he was a team doctor.
Oh,
See the
for Olympics or whatever. Yeah, I was there towards the beginning of that. But the Las Vegas shooting ones, and they had that. I don't know what ever happened to those cases, but the Arkema cases as well, Arkema explosion.
Dude, they got paid like you would not believe after. Oh my God, yes.
Okay, so those were good.
I didn't have any.
So then,
Just jealous.
you work with Jeff McCarthy doing a lot of that kind of.
So it's weird. So you hear all this experience, great experience, right? Mm-hmm. So I go in and I'm like, they're like, all right, so here's a fucking 3060 case. I'm like, all right, so we need to get excerpts, we need to do this. It's like, we're not doing any of that. You're going to send discovery and you're going to sit for the plaintiff deposition. You need to prep the plaintiff and then try and settle this case.
And that's a $30,000 policy.
Right. Yeah.
To $60,000 if there's more than one claim.
Sure.
Yeah.
So going from that to this, I was like, what the hell? So, that was kind of but what was interesting to me in being in that environment where he basically just gave the docket, I was like, figure it out, was I also got to learn how the business of all this works. And, that was, it was different. It was different to me. So I wasn't some guy who was writing a motion because I believe in justice as my middle name. It was like, dude, I need to figure this out because we got to keep the lights on. We've got to do this. We've got staff, so it was a much different, mindset. So it's kind of cool to be able to look at both worlds.
And so you left Open Your Own Deal 7 months ago?
Yeah, 7 months, end of October, beginning of November.
So what would you give advice? What advice would you...
Let's start with, how terrifying was that?
It wasn't.
Because none of us have had to do it.
Except for me.
I'm...
Big jerk.
I did it as a...
That's the joke, Kyle. That's the joke.
I'm in the sunset spot right now, Bill.
Yeah. Okay, so you make the... First of all, you kind of alluded to this. What was the decision matrix on why you decided, wanting to do your own thing?
So I mean, honestly, it was like one case that really hit me pretty hard. But I was bringing in cases. I was working them up. I was dealing with all staff issues. The only thing I really wasn't doing was actual payroll. So after a while, you're like, if this is all it takes, it's a ton. Don't get me wrong. But if I kind of know what's going on, why don't I just do this for myself, put my name on the door? But I was like, we'll see what happens. Then there was one case. It was denied by like 3 or 4 attorneys. And it was a guy who's a tow truck. He was going, he was going pretty fast. And he was going to this road that was actually closed. And he hit a piece of construction at like 1 o'clock in the morning. And he got pretty hit, pretty messed up. 4 attorneys passed on it. And I was like, fuck it, I'll take it. So I talked to him. I settled the case for good. I mean, it wasn't 7 figures, but it was good. And the client was super ecstatic. I brought it in. I worked up the case. With those construction cases, you obviously have to pull a lot from, it was in Fort Bend County, so you had to pull a lot from Fort Bend County, and you had to pull a lot to figure out what the construction was. Obviously, like with the different types of traffic control devices, all that. And see what I could do. And I did all that. No one else helped me. Didn't have any staff really help me very much. And I was like, fuck, like, I'm not even getting a very significant percentage of this fee. And I was like, all right, that's it. Like, I need to do that so that I can kind of create my own thing, right? So that hit me pretty hard. And I was like, all right, that's it. So I just opened up on my own. Now, thankfully, we had a lot of attorneys referred to us for litigation. And they were like, oh, you're going on your own. We love you. Here's some cases. And it's worked out. But I can imagine if you're just like, all right, here we go. And then try to wait. That's fucking terrifying.
Yeah. And do you, right now, office space, you have space and staff or anything? Or are you pretty lean?
Yeah. So for the first few months, I had remote work. And actually for the first few months, it was just me and my little laptop. And then obviously I got one staff member who was remote, and then another one was actually in Austin. And then I just signed a lease, and I just moved in last week to an office in the gallery area. So that was kind of a big deal. It's really weird. Like they were like, "Oh, do you have your certificate of occupancy?" I was like, "What the fuck is that?" So
well, we just talked to the head of the fire department union, and he can he can help you out on that.
So, that's been...
Congratulations, though. That's a big deal.
I appreciate that. So, yeah, that's been the trajectory. And so, I think during one of the remediations, you asked me, how do I get cases resolved pretty quick?
And at a premium.
Yeah, fucking desperation. Now, it's just, one thing that I've noticed is and I do it a lot on my podcast, too. I beat my chest about like our case, blah, blah, blah. How did the defense even think about this or not think about that? But in my practice, I don't really do that. Like I really actually work with defense counsel and say, hey, look, like you need this for your report. I'm going to bring it. A good example is, if a client's getting a back surgery, I let defense counsel know, hey, they're getting a back surgery that's actually happening. I'm letting you know right now, put it in your report, like prepping you. I have one where it's a small case. It's a denial from Allstate, shocker. And instead of being like, oh, I got you at trial, I'm like, look, I've gotten affidavits from 5 witnesses. As each affidavit comes in, I'm giving them to you. If you want to take their deposition, we'll make sure they're available. We're trying to get this done. Just a heads up. Also, I'm setting this, trying to get them to do it, because at the end of the day, the person who's constantly in your ear, they're going to be like, fuck. Now, there are cases, most large cases, that's not worth doing. It's not. But the cases that, quote unquote, keep the lights on, the ones that the clients are going to walk away happy with, like the smaller policies, it's worth doing. It's worth doing because they'll be prepped. So, I mean, you've been in mediation with me, and you've seen that, for the most part, the defense attorneys are not very fucking surprised by where I'm going. And it's the reason. I've prepped them before. They know what to do to go in there. They know how to make their adjuster relatively okay with what's going on.
Yeah, that's the secret to success is tell them why they should pay the claim. Don't hide the ball. Just give the information.
Secret to success is mediating with Peter Chat.
Yeah, well,
True. I have probably a 4% success rate at mediation
4%?
until I started meeting with Pete, and I'm at 66.6%.
I send over
2 for 3.
I send over a bottle of booze before, and
Pete drugs the other side.
no to Bill.
And then every time he walks to the other room, it's just like a Dead & Co. company concert.
No, but I do think, Mike, you do, and I've told you this, you do it the right way, and I think I appreciate it. And Kyle, I never see Kyle in mediation, but Andrew, his
Kyle.
colleague.
You want to get on my
Kyle's too busy.
You want to get on a real podcast? Start media with Pete. I've been on, and I use Pete as much as I can.
Our guest, Andrew, he does a very good job of that kind of thing. Kyle, of course, tells it.
Andrew's a lot like Kyle, just better looking and funnier.
Yeah. And a decent attempt at personal hygiene.
And he's a good human, which is a stark contrast from working with you.
I mean, unless any of us have given up a kidney away.
Yeah, Kyle, how many kidneys do you have? And that is why you will not be on Mike's podcast.
Mike? Andrew donated a kidney to his half brother.
What?
Yeah.
Not only did he donate, offered. He wasn't even asked. He was like, "No, take mine." I was like, "Dude, that's a."
I'll be real honest. I was a liberal arts major. I don't even know how many kidneys a normal person has.
Right?
3, 6.
Yeah.
It's like a.
You have 4 more to go.
Well, you have 2. You have 2 in your nipples. Everybody knows that. That's science. And then you have 2 in the back.
2 of them hold your eyes in place.
I think your feet are kidneys too.
They might be.
So, Mike, would you recommend to young lawyers out there who are at like the same stage you were, where you had experience, you'd done it a while, you'd seen good lawyers?
How old were you when you went out?
Out of law school? Or
No, when you went on your...
Yes.
I mean, it was 7 months ago.
How many years?
Well, how many years did you practice before you went out?
7 years.
Oh shit! So you were kind of you're in that pocket where you had like responsibilities and that's even more stress.
Do you feel like
Because if you do it at 26, it's not a big deal. It's like, yeah, I'll file bankruptcy. It's fine.
Do you feel like that was about the right time, this experience-wise, or would you done it earlier?
I think it's situational. So I think that for some people, they are way better off staying at a firm. I mean,
Sure. Obviously.
No, exhibit A.
go ahead.
I'm just
Go ahead. I'm just terrified to be a business owner.
There are a handful of people I'll tell you 2 quick stories, but the basic principle is there have been people who come to me who have said, I want to go start my own firm. And I'm like, you're going to do great.
Yeah.
You will do excellent. There's other people who have said, I want to start my own firm. And I'm like, there's no way.
Peter. Oh, the Peter.
You just have to do so much stuff.
So much.
Like, you're a great lawyer, and you handle your cases fantastically,
Right.
But you need somebody to feed you those cases, and you need somebody else to pay the bills.
And one thing they don't teach you in law school is how to run a business.
I saw a great meme the other day. It said, Dear law school, how do I start my own law firm? And the answer said, I don't know, but there's this 87-year-old who might have 17 more children. She lives in a place called Blackacre. Let's tell you some useful stuff.
Yeah.
So, no, I mean, it's situational. So I think some people stay at a law firm. And if the law firm is giving you the standards of life you want, you're better off. Like the standard of life you want.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, do it. Like, stay there. Do not open an law firm, because there's shit that I don't even think about. Like, I got my first check-in. I'm like, oh, all right, cool. I have an IOTA. What the fuck do I do with
What do I do?
check? Yeah, like, do I write this? What, shit like that.
What's more fun is when your client convinces you to wire them money, and you wire it out of IOLTA, and then the bank charges you a $50 fee that they charge against IOLTA, which you're not allowed to do.
No, you're not.
And you think, do I have to report myself to the bar? Or which banker do I call? How the hell did this turn into a 3-hour problem?
I think Bill's reporting you right now. So
We're obligated.
You also have the duty to report me now.
Yeah.
If you don't report me,
He's going to report us for not reporting us on him. Yeah.
Okay, so your website
Catch 22.
TAKALAW.com. Takla.
yeah, TAKLALAW.com.
Number is 832-598-6777.
That's it.
Talklawaw.com. Talklaw.
Are there any kind of vendors?
Well, What's your secret sauce?
Digital marketing, any people you'd like, hey, these people are great.
I couldn't do this without these people.
I think the answer is just more weight.
And if you don't have an answer to that,
More plates, right?
if you don't have an answer to that, I'll give you some tips.
Okay, what are the tips?
Oh, I'm not giving you on
He'll
air.
give you his suit for some. You, Bill.
Yeah, if you want to dress like Peter Pan, you just go to Jose Banks. But if you want to dress like me, I got just the right young lady for you.
Call Fran.
Yeah, call Fran.
If you will tell us the name of the two lawyers, the pugilists.
Oh, no.
Just one.
To be honest with you, I don't remember the old man.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't care about him.
The older individual.
He may be dead.
Do you have that old man strength?
But there's somebody that's still practicing, and I want to know who's trying to beat up an elderly person. And so that sounds so much worse than it already was.
You think you guys all had lawyers threatening to fight you, right?
No, Kyle, I'm 6'4", and I was a 2-time Golden Gloves champion at 15 and 16 years old. I've not had anyone try to fight me.
I had a lawyer once, no joke, call up here at like 4:40 in the afternoon, screaming and yelling like he was going to come kick my ass. So I, of course, took my cell phone out and hit record because he was also saying a ton of terrible stuff about the judge. And he just went on, no joke, for like 20 minutes. I didn't say a word. I just let him scream at me.
And his name was Chaz Clays.
It definitely was not Chance. And he got to the end of the call, and he was like, well, what do you have to say about that? By the way, also, this was it was not a young man. I think I was 50-ish. I was like, well, you know where my office is. I'll be here for another hour or two. I'll have the staff leave the door unlocked.
And I have a cane.
Yeah, he's got weapons.
Okay, so, yeah, as far as starting a firm, okay, get a website.
Get a website, I guess.
What else? Get it in.
Now, do a live Reddit.
Didn't.
You got that Egyptian money.
He's got.
So what I did is cases I brought in, I told Jeff, hey, write it to this law firm. I've just been banking it. So that way I had a cushion.
Okay.
Expecting I would get no case for 6 months.
So Jeff's a good dude.
I mean, yeah, no, he's definitely a great dude. And we're on great terms.
I really wanted to hate him. I don't at all. I've met him multiple times. Super nice, and I like him a lot. But I really wanted to hate that. Damn it.
And how'd your wife react to your telling her that you're going to start your?
No.
She a worrier?
She works in corporate life, so my life is just fucking atrocious to her. No,
Dirty.
yeah, basically.
Yeah, I get it.
You ambulance.
Hey, but the money spends the same way.
It's fair. But no, she was worried at the beginning. But then when I was at Jeff's and I was bringing in these cases and working my ass off to get them, she's like, you should think about maybe, going on your own. I was like, that would be a great idea. I've never thought about that, right? And so it worked out. She's super, super supportive now. Yeah, but...
Now that she's got fat stacks.
Well, yeah, I guess. But
Medium size.
Medium. So, but it's weird, like, when you talk about should someone be a business owner, you got to realize, like, every check that comes into your office is not fucking yours. It's everybody else's but yours. And every once in a while, you may be able to get something for yourself. So that's been stressful.
And you have to be careful, like, who you trust with the checkbook.
When I went out on my own, I imagined in my head, I did the same thing. Sure. My law office was my dining room table.
Yeah.
And our business plan was we're not going to make any money for 9 months. We're not going to stress out for the first 9 months.
Right.
If we get to the end of 9 months and we haven't made any money, we'll go back to the crappy jobs we had before.
Yeah.
And interestingly enough, I told kind of a junior level partner at my old firm that had fired me. He said, what are you going to do? It's like, I don't think I'm going to start my own law firm. It's like, I can't screw this up as bad as you guys. And he was like, this was a bright guy who went to a really good law school. And he was like, he was a great guy, actually. He was like, I really think you should maybe not do that. And I said, well, I appreciate the advice. I've kind of made the decision. But
right.
So a year later, like on the anniversary of that dinner, we got back together. He was like, how's it going? It's like, it's going great. Told him all the stuff we'd done. He said, well, that takes guts. He goes, what is it that, like, you finally did it? And by the way, this guy should have started his own firm 20 years ago.
Right.
But he hates where he works. And I said, well, what's the opportunity cost? I'm already in the hole $100,000 for law school.
You only had to pay $100,000 for law school?
I said, the amount of money that I make at my current job is not that much. So 9 months worth of salary, like, why would I now risk that to give myself a chance to work for myself?
Yeah.
That's the simple, man.
That's what I did.
Or he was going to be a history teacher in high school. Remember, that was the last one. Yeah.
That's literally my dream job.
No, one dream job?
Dream job. Well, I wanted to teach high school government, and I still do.
Anyone
And baseball, coach baseball. No, just on the side, like a
JV.
yeah.
JV.
For the moms.
Yeah.
I'm single.
Yeah, so hats off to you, Mike, for doing it. I'm glad it's working out, and I think there's a lot of
7 months in?
7 months in.
yeah. No debt is a key part. That was smart the way you did that.
Still have student debt, but
No law firm debt.
no.
Hey, luckily, President Obama did one great thing for us, which decided to not allow us to discharge student loan debt in bankruptcy. So thanks to Barack, the only thing I have other than cash for clunkers is a bit of a bust.
Well,
I didn't know that.
I bet you the U of H law debt is not as high as the South Texas College of Law.
It's not at all. Well, Kyle threw out South Texas College of numbers from the 70s because he's old, and mine's substantially more than
Interest
that.
rates were they were like 18%.
And and you got to consolidate at like 1%.
That is true.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We get to consolidate, average all of our interest rates. I was consolidated at 7.8%.
Yeah, like 2 years out of law school, I think I consolidated.
Yeah, the Barackness monster did me no favors.
So I can put the money into a savings account, and then it still makes sense not to pay my student loans off.
Yeah. But that's what happens when you're a trust fund, baby, you know?
Exactly. From the mean streets of Friendswood.
Friendswood, you know?
Mike, anything you want to add to the discussion? Cut out?
No, I think that's
What would your advice be? Well, actually, wait.
Podcast.
why I started. That's
Yeah. Why'd you start a competing podcast?
mine was first.
He was first.
Yeah, so why did you start?
Why? Because I was asked to be on this show, and I was so funny. They were like, "Bill, you should come on full time." I was like, "Sure."
Yeah.
I wish I could say it's not true.
Yeah, you guys stick with that decision?
I was kidding. I thought it was just my good look.
This is the way it showed up multiple times uninvited. We're like, just get like a
that movie High
cute
Fidelity.
dog, cute little puppy you want to just keep around.
He sits down. He's like, "So can I get a mic?" Or,
Yeah.
Yeah, I came here for the snacks.
We hired him to work 2 days a week, part-time, and then he just kept showing up, and we haven't had the heart to fight.
Yeah, they haven't paid me in 2 years.
Like Rudy. You know, maybe Rudy, where he like showed up and finally he got to play.
Go ahead and start chanting my name, Pete. I know that was what you're trying to
The
do.
key to the storage shed. Don't know nothing about it.
Yeah. Why'd you start?
starting a podcast. Yeah, so honestly, I wanted to know how other attorneys were getting these verdicts. So I was like, what's the easy way?
Selfish reasoning.
Yeah, it was
selfish.
way for them to get on a podcast.
We did it to spread the word to the general public about the law. You
No,
selfish.
none of that. I wanted, it's like, someone gets, like Randy Sorrels with that huge verdict. How the fuck did he get that? Come on the podcast.
Yeah.
Randy's been on your podcast?
He was one of the first.
Yeah, he was
early.
He was on the
Yeah.
podcast
Right after
a
his.
few days after he got the verdict.
Yeah.
I was emailing him during the.
We can't have Randy on here.
It's going to be a huge verdict.
We can, but if we do, I'm going to ask him about the motion, the Rule 12 motion you filed against me.
That's fine.
I'm just letting you know now.
I'm okay with that.
Rule 12 in state court is a motion to show authority accusing another law firm of fraudulently getting a contract. It went away pretty quickly, though.
Well, I'm sure he had good grounds, Bill.
We're still wanting to.
It went away pretty quickly, though.
Everything is very friendly here. So if you want to dial it up,
I'm not in this business to make friends, all right? I like burning bridges. I like burning them quick.
You know, Bill, it wouldn't be the first time you've been asked not to attend a taping session. So maybe, Randy, if you're out there, I'm not saying we want to.
Actually, I would love to have Randy on because
Since like it, Bill.
since he left Abraham Watkins, he has lit the fucking world on fire.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
one after the other. I mean, the Clemens son case was like
Had him
a
off now.
blemish for him, and it was a big. I watched a lot of that trial, and I was very impressed.
it wasn't a blemish. It was a home run.
No, it was a home run for the case, but a blemish next to some of the numbers that he's gotten since. Like, I mean, he's really hit his stride as soon as he went out on his own and started the firm. And every time I turn around on social media, they're hiring a new lawyer, and I mean, he got a team of 30 now.
A bright young guy with a bright future.
He's got a bright future. I really, if you need some tutelage, you can call me.
But he was great. But like I said, to wind this up, Bad Law, Worst Facts.
Yeah.
Very good podcast. Definitely listen to it. We're gonna, if you want to cross.
If you want to listen to a good one, listen to mine. If you want to listen to a regular one, listen to Pete's.
Yeah.
And I'll remind you, if I'm invited, I will not attend.
All right. Well,
I'll confirm.
We went through the whole show and we didn't mention one Male cheerleader. And I'm proud of you, Kyle.
If nominated, I will not run. If elected, I will not serve.
So if you like us, we'll have a bunch of clips like Mike's podcast and Lifting Lawyer on Instagram or TaklaLaw.com.
If Lifting Lawyer can get more content of Teddy, every time you post it, messing with him, it's the funniest stuff.
Good.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Can you give me tickets to the A&M Notre Dame game?
Sure. It's in Notre Dame. It's in Ann Arbor.
Tickets to the Texas-Georgia game?
Or not Ann Arbor.
You look like a wealthy young man who might have access to seats. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, get that He's got that Egyptian sarcophagus money.
All right. So please like, subscribe, follow us on Instagram, Spotify, Apple, TikTok, wherever you get your podcasts, wherever you get Mike Takla's podcasts, follow them.
Unfollow Takla, follow Dirty Verdict.
Yeah.
Chaos Theory.digital, Josh Bellin for your social media needs.
Amanda Orr for strategy.
And then anything else you want to...
Suits by Fran.
Yeah. Suits by Fran, lawyers here to go file lawsuits.
Good night, Yvette.
All right.
Good night, Mom. I love you.
Oh, wait. I didn't have one shout out.
What?
Denise Peterson.
Oh, yeah.
She friended me on Facebook and says that her class at South Texas College of Law gets extra credit for listening to us.
We should go film a whole segment in their class.
I think, give you 2 extra credit. If we can go over to South Texas and tape there, I think that's a great collaboration. Maybe not U of H guys are still super comfortable, but
we could just set up a table outside the class and it can just be a come and go, sit, and we'll roast you and then you can go.
Get extra credit for showing up.
Dude, please do that.
That'd
That'd be awesome.
Denise Peterson students, we apologize for the profanity, but that's how
the fuck we do.
That's how law works, and we're sorry. And by the way,
Welcome to the profession.
yeah, no one fights.
And Denise, thanks for the shout out.
Yeah, no one fights us.
If you find us, we will send you a Dirty Verdict podcast cup and promise not to send you a bandana because people throw them away. Thanks a lot. Chat.
Bandana.
Just their burnt orange. Well, thanks a lot for joining us. We'll see you next week. All right.